Hello. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute. I thought I'd try something a little bit different. An opportunity to kind of like vent, but also like keep people updated, I suppose. If you are new here, we've had a few new people pop up. I do vlogs, daily life, travel a little bit. I mean, I go on holiday and I like sharing that. Next one is Disney, which is this month. Very, very exciting. I talk about a lot of mental health, my own health issues. I'm trying to be as true to myself, but as like relatable as possible. Obviously, not everyone can relate to everyone's situation, but I've found that being open and transparent has definitely brought opportunities to chat to people that are going through the same things, and I'm here for it. I've got notes on my phone, bits that I want to chat about, keep you in the loop. In my vlogs, I go off on tangents and rant about things, or, you know, share what's on my mind, what I'm struggling with, what excites me. It's across the spectrum kind of thing. So I kind of thought the best way of doing this, and this is going to be a challenge for me because multitasking, unless it's cleaning, I struggle with. So I'm going to try and do my skincare, do my makeup and get ready. I've washed my face, I've brushed my teeth, I've put my retainer in. I'm due to scrub my tan off, so apologise if I look a bit ropey. So yeah, I've washed my face and now I'm going in with a Pixie toner. In some of the stuff that I chat about, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube, I'm a bit cryptic sometimes. For good reason. I'm using this. It's an essence and it just helps your skin barrier, but it's just so hydrating. I've had a love and hate relationship with medication. My dream is just to do everything naturally, but I have a stomach condition, which I'm going to do a whole other video about because, again, I get a lot of questions about that. Speaking of medication, I need to take mine. The last horrendous experience I had was when my dad died, which was almost 6 years ago, and I was already on medication, which was mainly, I'm assuming, for anxiety. I've had anxiety all my life. It got to a point where my dad's passing was not expected. It happened from diagnosis to him passing was 8 weeks. There was a lot of family politics. There is still ongoing politics 6 years on. It's not pleasant. I feel like I've mourned. My life is never going to be the same again. I've accepted that and I feel like I've got my happy person back, but at the time, again, I'll happily do a video on this because what I went through losing my dad, before losing my dad, when I found out, and then after, it could have been an EastEnders season. But anyway, yeah, it was a very, very low part of my life. The thoughts I was having, my moods, how erratic I was. I went on to a type of antidepressant that just made me really, really numb. I wasn't a very nice person. I was still erratic and all of that, but I did all of that stuff and felt all of that stuff whilst being numb. Does that make sense? I felt like I was a robot. I just didn't like myself. Looking back, I was like, okay, that was a form of me grieving, but my God, the medication, how it made me feel, I would just felt like I was like, all the time. It's so hard to explain because obviously your whole self is going through a grieving process, but you're also on medication that's supposed to like chemically balance you, but I feel like it did more harm than good. I think 3 years into that I came off of it and then I went on to something else which was more manageable and catered more to what I actually needed, and probably then at the time, after like 3 years of grieving. And that was great. It kind of did its thing. Everything has its side effects. Just doing the moisturiser. I'm now using a Skin Tropic. I was doing medical grade skincare, but it's all run out and I'm struggling to replace it. So anyway, it was on that medication, the less aggressive one, for a couple of years until last year. I got to a place where I felt like I didn't need to be on it, and the side effects were more intense and I noticed them more, and I just felt like I could come off them and I felt okay coming off them, and a lot of happy things were happening in my life. I just felt stable. I weaned myself off them, and then halfway through this year I had a really nasty flare up and my anxiety took a massive hit. So long story short, I'm back on medication. The thing is with my stomach, and if you do research, is that antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication can be really good for people that have gut issues. Your stomach is your second brain. So you're treating this, but you're also, these are connected. That's how I see it. So as I said, I'm back on medication. I'm okay about it. I'm not sure whether you would notice any or much of a difference within 2 weeks, but just from my reset and my mum's and coming back home, I do feel more positive. I do feel like I want to leave the house. I don't want to be a hermit. Going down the cryptic route and things that have been going on in the background, I wasn't going to chat about it because it semi-involves my family because we're all going through it. My granddad is dying, which is not great. It's my dad's dad. It's a bit triggering because they didn't have the same diagnosis, but it is still bowel related and it sucks. I think ever since my dad passed, my relationship with my granddad has semi-deteriorated. He was going to walk me down the aisle, and I've always had an I don't know how to say it, place or a soft spot for my granddad, and how much he kind of played such a massive role in my dad's life because my granny died when I was like a couple of years old. I think I only met her once, but I wouldn't have remembered that. And he's Scottish, and just how he speaks about things, and I don't know, I've always just kind of admired him, and to know his diagnosis was always terminal, but he had an operation and I thought he had more time, and it just hasn't worked out like that. I think what I'm worried about is going away the 19th of November, and I feel like he's going to pass away when I'm away. Like, that's my fear. But it's just really been heavy in my thoughts. As an awkward person, and now, you know, my dad has passed and our relationship isn't as close. He's got a closer relationship with my other cousins. He always has, but he's still my granddad at the end of the day, and I'm struggling when I call him and check up on him because I feel like he's so set in his ways and so, I want to say old school, because I call up and go, "Hi granddad, it's Grace, like just checking in." He's like, "Yeah, well, nothing's changed, like effectively I'm still dying." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I know granddad, but I want to hear your voice, I want to speak to you and all of this." And it's just, I don't feel like it's well received, but at the same time, it's not about me going through something that's horrific. I just don't know how to process any of it, and I'm sure he doesn't mean it, but I think he would feel okay not hearing from me. That's the vibe I get. I'm sure that's not true, but I'm just struggling having that relationship with him and he's dying. So moving on to my next thing, which has worked out pretty well if I'm honest, is I've started therapy, and I've got therapy today. I'm actually getting ready to go to therapy. This, I swear by this, just under the lash line because that's what they do the video showing. With my granddad in mind, yes, I've started therapy. I've done CBT, art therapy, I've done equestrian therapy, done bereavement therapy. I've done it all, but person-to-person therapy, you're in a space where you vent. I call it trauma dumping. Don't ask me what this is. I don't know what it is. I think it's a revolution stick. I don't know why I'm dolling myself up. I've ended up talking about a lot of stuff that I knew was irritating me or was there, but gotten it out. I've trauma dumped to someone that's neutral. It's kind of helped to see things in a certain way or get it out there and process it is probably the best way of putting it. This is a Fenty stick, by the way. My friend recommended her to me and I had to wait for her for a little while, but she's been great. It's my fourth session today, and I'm quite excited to go in there and be like, gone back on antidepressants, like my head feels clearer. Our plan is to basically do a timeline. I don't know whether that's the timeline of just my trauma or a timeline of where I want to be and how we're going to get there. Well, it's been pros and cons to it really, because you're chatting about stuff, you know, dredging up a lot of trauma which you're faced with and you have to deal with it. But with that being said, you feel lighter. So you would know this if you watched the vlogs, but my mechanism for after therapy is, because it's near my John Lewis and I park at John Lewis, I just do a little stroll around John Lewis, whether it's looking at the Christmas decorations or makeup or clothes or homeware, just to decompress rather than going home and just stewing a little bit. I'm moving my body, I'm getting distracted by things that's making me think about that rather than what I've just been talking about, and I felt like that's really helped. With, again, like with therapy as well and other things I want to tackle, I want to look into neurodiversity. I don't like labels, but in certain circumstances, labels are really, really helpful. You know, my diagnosis for my stomach has been helpful. I needed to know what I had. You know, finding out if I've got ADHD or I'm autistic. Like the lines can be very blurred, and you can have multiple diagnoses. Rather getting so frustrated about how I think, how my brain works, I'd love to understand a bit more. So my goal next year, and a lot of people have been asking this and wanted a video on this too, and I do think it's an important topic, but I'm just not there yet. But it's very much on the agenda. True Match Nude Plumping Tinted Serum in medium. Definitely too dark. Moving swiftly on. Work. I have been obviously unwell. Andrew has been going above and beyond, well, compensating for what I haven't been able to do. Bottom line is I haven't been working for the last month. I haven't physically been able to. I'm just using my bare minerals. I'm not used to telling people what I'm using, but it sucked. I started Willa, my child portrait, baby photos, all of that shebang, the beginning of this year, and I've made momentum on it. Did some like free shoots, got to know some mums, did my first newborn shoot. Like, I've loved every single minute of it. There's been some moments that have been testing, but I've learnt from it. So to get to a point where I've had to stop pushing that and take a back seat and let whatever has been going on run its course has been really crap. Now that I am feeling perkier and in a better place, I have a few goals. I'm looking forward to getting back from America, our Disney trip, / a little bit of Universal in there, to push some Christmas deals out there. There have been a few opportunities where people have asked about gift cards and stuff. I know we've received them as a family in the past to have like family photo shoots as gifts, where they put like half down on a gift card and then you go pay the other half. I'm thinking about doing stuff like that. In the new year, there's some stuff that I want to try out, more filming and stage stuff. Yeah, just a lot of stuff and ideas, and it's just executing them really. But I've got little goals to get to the big goals. The office that we have in the city, for me, is still, you know, bugging me, and I don't feel comfortable going in there. It's purely just the toilet situation there and the needing to get home that is just freaking me out. That when I am working and stuff that I need to get done, I'm more comfortable at home. From the vlogs, if you've been watching them, you know that we've got a little bit of renovations going on. We do rent, so, you know, it's nothing massively revolutionary. I don't know. It's just been a case of transforming a room that had multiple purposes into one main purpose, which is going to be a space where I can work, film, do bits. This is actually going to be a wardrobe wall. We did do an IKEA excursion, which was the most traumatic experience ever, which will be the next video that will go up. I was using translucent 𝒊𝒏𝒔𝒕𝒂 powder. This just lasts forever, unless you drop it on the floor and half of it goes on the carpet. I have done that before. I'm running out of this and needs to be replaced. So anyway, work is taking its time, and it's a process. But I'm feeling very excited about the future. I am a catfish, but it's not a massive transformation. So yeah, my last note is, potential last note, because I do like chatting, is Disney. in November, the 18th to be precise, will be Andrew's and I's 1-year wedding anniversary. And on that day, we will be driving to Gatwick to check in to a hotel because we will be going to Florida the following morning. I will be doing a whole planning video, but just to give you some juicy details, we are going to be staying at Pop Century. Halfway through, we will be going to stay at Universal at the Hard Rock Hotel for a night. Worked out cheaper, but having 2 days at Universal, so it's not rushed. And then we will be finishing the trip at Animal Kingdom Lodge. Such a bucket list trip, I'm telling you now. This holiday, yeah, it hasn't come soon enough, I'm telling you. But it is soon now because it's almost just 2 weeks away, and it's going to be over the festive period. That was a Sephora bronzer I used, by the way. Look, I'm not good at this. I'm not profesh. Now I'm going to do my eyebrows with the NYX pen. I'm going to do this off camera because all it's going to be is silence. So this is my eyebrows before, and you will see them in a minute afterwards. Eyebrows done. They do not look the same. I think this one's a little bit chunkier than this one. I can never get it right, but we're only going to therapy, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to try and do my eyelashes. I'm so hyped for this Disney trip. It is a bucket list trip, not just because of how we're doing it. I never, ever, ever thought it would ever be a possibility where we would be able to go to Walt Disney World, Florida at Christmas time. But this is a type of trip that, I think I've already said, that we're not gonna do all the time. Yes, we went to Walt Disney World last year with friends. So looking forward to it just being Andrew and I this year and doing things the way that we want to do them. I think it was so fun last year, but I was always conscious about what everyone wanted to do rather than like, oh, I want to go here and I want to go here. This trip, there are a few things I'm gonna like go and do that I didn't do last time. Rides that I didn't necessarily go on. Things that, yeah, I didn't see or eat. And, you know, we're also staying on multiple properties, so you get the perks of the Disney perks through that. So it's just going to be a different experience. Yeah, we're going for 16 days. We're doing a Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. We're doing that early on in the trip. It's going to be mega festive. I'm going to see all the Christmas trees. It's kind of like seeing how Americans do Christmas / Disney. So the mascara I used is, I need to replace this, is Extended Play Giga Black Lash by MAC. And then I'm going to be using Peony, which is Kat Von D Beauty. I think it's K Beauty now. Do that, and then I'll do my fake freckles. You can all see how I do my fake freckles. Yeah, Disney's just going to be fab. And like, it's our honeymoon. I don't know whether I'm going to like, I'm definitely going to wear a badge that says I'm on my honeymoon. Because when are you ever going to have the opportunity to do this again? I don't plan on getting married again. Unless in like 20 years time, Andrew and I want to renew our vows and go on another honeymoon. So I'm milking it. With our American Express, we've managed to go business class with BA there and back. So like, I can't wait to see what that's all about. I'm also a terrible flyer. Just this whole trip as a whole, the way that we're doing it is very bougie, but also alleviates so much panic. Staying on Disney property, using all the Disney transport. I know that if you've got a ticket, you can use the Disney transport anyway, but we're staying at Pop, so we've got the Skyliner, and that is just so handy, especially from last year, getting from like Epcot to Hollywood Studios and all that. I just found it like a game changer. So that's going to be amazing. Staying for 16 days, it means we're going to get like a full 2 weeks of parks without travel days interrupting anything. Oh, I'm just so excited, and I'm going to be so gutted when it ends, but obviously so thankful for all the memories that we would have made. But yeah, flying business class is going to be insane, and that's where I'm like, I like that we're staying at, like, bearing in mind my mum is only like 20 minutes away from Gatwick, but we're settling the dogs on the 18th, well, on the 17th, staying over at my mum's to the 18th, settling the dogs again, going to the airport, parking and everything, but it's booking ourselves into the hotel. Then the next morning we're going to watch the Formula 1 at like 6 in the morning. Then we're going to check out. Then we're going to like be at the airport, go into the BA business lounge, like all of this stuff that I can't wait to like share and just show all of it. I didn't actually think that we'd end up having a honeymoon, because we went to Florida just before we got married, and I kind of was like, you know what, I'm just going to class this as like our honeymoon kind of thing. It's like a bucket list holiday for me. I've been wanting to go to Walt Disney World for like 23 years. I've been wanting to go. So like that was such a big moment for me. But now to be going back this soon and treating it is our honeymoon is wild. So all the crappy stuff that's happened this year is almost like makes it seem like it never happened. Yes, probably not the most relatable Disney trip, but I'm really excited to vlog it. Look, could we have gone to the Maldives or gone to Asia and done something? Sure. This is how I do my fake freckles. I've got an eyebrow pencil. My preferred one is by Rimmel in black brown, and you've got to get it really sharp. This is me compensating for not doing anything for my eyes, but I just do random little... Again, there is literally 0 point of me doing this because it's raining outside. I'm only going into the city for like an hour and a half. If you do have any Disney tips, as I said, I've only been once. There's stuff I learnt from last year, and I watch Disney vlogs on the daily, pretty much. I've definitely learnt from that, but obviously since going and seeing it all in person, you get your perspective on it, and not everyone wants to do the same thing. Like when we go back, I'm not going to be doing Tower of Terror. I did it with everyone last year. I didn't want to do it last year, but I did it because we all did it as a group, and you know, you should always try things once. Yeah, I said to Andrew, I won't be going on that. You can go on the single rider and do that, I'm afraid. I love Andrew to death, but there are just some things I really just don't want to do. And that is one of them, because I have a phobia of lifts. So those are my freckles. They're just really random. I've got a little bit of a moustache at the moment that I need to wax, but let's ignore that. So I won't be doing that. Universal, I will pretty much do everything, but I'm umming and erring about 𝒊𝒏𝒔𝒕𝒂. I went on Rip Ride Rockit last year and absolutely loved it. I feel like it was the music that really helped. I chose I Will Survive, and that's a lap bar. I feel like 𝒊𝒏𝒔𝒕𝒂 with the lap bar, it's just freaking me out. I don't know why. Andrew is really pushing for me to go on that, and I've watched the ride on like POVs, whether it's on TikTok or on YouTube, of like the exact track and what to expect. Like there's a bit where you can get a full start and you can roll back down, because they obviously cater for that. And I'm like, oh my God, what if that happens? And just psyching myself up, because it's actually quite a long ride as well. Very thrilling, and there's 2 launches, and it's dinosaur themed. It's obviously like Jurassic Park themed, and dinosaurs are scary. Whereas like Rip Ride Rockit is, you know, it's about you doing like a music video kind of thing, and you go up vertically. That didn't freak me out. You're listening to music, and I don't know. I just got on with it. I'm just gonna like smooth my hair out, and then I'm gonna put some clothes on. So I think we can all agree, if my hair wasn't greasy, this could look a lot better. When I go get therapy, it's quite hot in the room. So I'm just going with a t-shirt, and then I'll show you my new coat that my mum got me for my birthday. Just wearing my everyday jeans. Never thought I'd say that for a very long time, if ever. But if you haven't seen my John Lewis experience video, I bought them whilst doing that. Another recent purchase, which is going to be one of my trainers for Walt Disney World, is these bad boys. Oh, that sounds really bad. Bad boys. They are Converses, and they are like the CX Run Legacy ones. They are so light and so comfy, but you have to go up half a size. You don't have to, but I did notice a difference, which I like, and with this style of trainer. And I'm someone that likes a chunk to their trainer. I've just figured out how to do portrait mode so I can show you my outfit properly. She says, Whistles jeans, Converses, Whistles top, my G necklace, greasy hair, and I'll go get my coat. And this is my lovely coat. Right, so I did actually make the effort to go put my coat on because Andrew has got my other coat in the car with him in London. So I will be wearing my new coat, which Mum got from TK Maxx. I think it's called Farah, and it's like a long, I don't know what style do you call this, oversized coat. And then obviously wearing my jeans, my Converses, a white top, and my greasy hair combo. But yeah, loving this. Ha ha ha. You saw my coat in the end. But yes, I might do another video of my current favourites. Things that I'm obviously loving, beauty stuff, clothing, film stuff that I've been watching. Been loving The Sims at the moment, whilst I've been a bit of a hermit. But yes, that is the update. That's where I am at. Throwing it all out on the table. Please be kind. And as always, if you've made it this far, thank you. I'm clearly not that boring. And I hope that you have a lovely week, lovely rest of your week. And I shall see you very shortly with a vlog on Thursday. Or just like the next video that goes up. I'll just shove that vlog up. Toodaloo and lots of love.